Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we're talking about the best-selling cards under $5 or less. These are the best-selling cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Obviously, this is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Penny stock market watch. Let's just jump right into it, starting with, of course, Fibrax still taking the top spot, still being the #1 best-selling card under $5. And odds are one or two things are going to happen, okay? This card's value is going to go up extremely high as time progresses onward, and we see less and less ghosts for the pass on the sale on the shelves, or the card's going to get banned. And we've seen in a lot of cases, Elder Entity Norden, Thunder Dragon Colossus, Masterpiece, the Dragon Rulers, all the way back then. I'm trying to think of a recent example within the last couple of years. I can't really think of one right now off the top of my head, but we see a lot of times cards go from 3 to 1. And when they go from 3 to 1, Konami's checking them to see, hey, okay, we'll put you at 1 here. We're just seeing if you're so much of a problem that even at 1, you're still a problem. And I think once we see Fibrax, there's going to be another combo, right? Cards like Fibrax always have a crazy combo. There's going to be another combo that comes out. Once that combo comes out, Fibrax is probably going to get the Knicks, right? So I wouldn't go too super crazy on Fibrax. I would wait until your local card shop, until your local Target or Walmart or Meijer or whatever other place you go to for your card. Ghost in the Past is gone, right? And that usually takes anywhere from 3 to 6 months. We're probably going to get a ban list within the next 3 to 6 months. Might even get 2, right? So do I see Fibrax surviving 2 ban lists? No, I do not. But if you do, not a bad investment, right? And then we have Dynamorphia, Rexton. I looked at it Rexterm. I looked at it last time. I still can't figure out. I mean, to be honest, this card's not really like it is. It is a penny stock because it is under $5, but like it is a penny under $5. So we'll see. We'll see when it comes to that. Decode Heat Soul. Decode Talker Heat Soul is the next one. I'm not really sure what's going on with this card, why it is so popular. I think that because like I said, it's 2 Cyberts monsters with different attributes, right? So Code Talkers can make it, and Salamangreat, right? Like that's it. Like Splash Mage into this card gets you here, and I understand you could pay 1,000 to draw, which is actually really good in Salamangreat, especially a deck that just got Pot of Desires back. And then the special summoning of a Link 3 or lower Cyberse monster is pretty cool. 2300 attack is okay. The Link arrows are nice. But it just doesn't, for me at least, it doesn't feel worth it. I've never seen a Heat Soul that's like, wow, that was such a powerful Heat Soul. Just because the draw is kind of random, obviously, because it's a draw. And it doesn't do anything. But doesn't make it a bad card to invest in. I think this card's going to go up or down in value based on Cyber's decks. Now, if maybe like that Eldritch, Cyber's, Black Rose, Adventurer, Kitchen Sink, Brave 60 card deck, if that deck starts to gain in popularity and that deck does run a good amount of Cyber's monsters, that deck probably could make this card, even though I don't know if there's room in the extra deck for it. Maybe we could see this card go up in value. I just don't know what's going to push this card up above that $2, $3 price tag with its effect. Because yes, it does draw a card, but it doesn't do anything, right? I guess it's a quick effect, so potentially you could get out a card that does do something with it. I don't know. There's a lot of potential for this card for sure. I don't want to say it's a bad card. I just don't really understand what's going on here. With all that. But anyway, we have Scareclaw. Tryhard. Must be link summoned. All face-up monsters on the field are changed to defense position. Unaffected by activated effects of monsters in defense position. Once per turn, if this card is special summon is in the extra monster zone, you can target 1 level 3 Scareclaw monster in your graveyard special summon, and if you do, add 1. That's pretty good. That's actually really cool. Interesting. So it seems like we might be stumbling upon, like I said on the last market watch. I'm not gonna. There was at one point, I'm sure in my life, where I knew every single Yu-Gi-Oh card in existence, um, and like what all of them do. I'm not at that spot now. So you guys let me know in the comments. Are Scare Claws cool? Are they fun? I mean, if you look at it, there's a definite possibility that this could be a very solid budget deck. 3,000 attack. It's always switching monsters to defensive position. It could have, we could see it having potential. I love the link arrows too, by the way. All of them pointing downward. It's really solid, and it's only 3 effect monsters, right? And this effect right here is generic. Right, so the fact that we can summon a 3K beat stick with only 3 monsters and their arrows all point downward. I mean, pendulums could use this card. Obviously, it's a beast warrior, so Tri Brigade could summon this card, right? So there's actually a lot of potential here. But I'm also curious about this because this is actually really good for this archetype. Not only is it a special summon to get out of Link 4, which I don't even know if they run a League 4. But it's also a search, which is really good too. So, you guys let me know in the comments down below. Are Scare Claws the next best budget deck of Yu-Gi-Oh, right? We see Pot of Greed is still on here. Branded Banishment, obviously. Red Eyes, Zombie Dragon Lord. I'm just curious, is this a good card, or is this just good because it's got Red Eyes? During your opponent's turn, you can target one zombie monster in your graveyard except itself. Special summon it. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish a zombie monster you control. Special summon this card. And you can only use each effect once per turn. 2800 attack. Level 10. I was just trying to do the math there. 10's kind of funky. 10 kind of sucks. Well, I mean, okay, 10 doesn't suck. I was just going to say 10's kind of funky. Actually, it's kind of funky for a couple of reasons now that I think about it. I was just going to say, first off, it's funky because the Golden Lord is level 10. Which means there's absolutely no way to use the Golden Lord to summon this card out. Unless, I guess there is a way. You got to find some way to reduce levels of some sort. And then in Red Eyes, you have to use a level 3. And I'm not really quite sure what level 3... I mean, I'm sure there is a good level 3 zombie tuner, but nothing's coming to mind right now. But Shiranui could easily make this card. And easily summon it back out. And on top of that, Shiranui loves it when their cards are banished. So even though this says Red Eyes Zombie Dragon Lord, I can't really think of what is making this card in Red Eyes. I'm gonna see if there's like a level 3 tuner. There's not. I'm not sure. But Shiranui, really, because I think Shiranui has a level 10 Synchro Monster already. I actually really like this card. I anticipated this card being bad, but I actually really like this card just on the pure fact that, first off, we're getting advantage, right? We're able to summon out a monster. Second off, the banishing effect, right? Now, as far as whether or not this card's going to have a lot of value going forward, I think so. We see a lot of times these generic cards, like, okay, I just mentioned an archetype, so let's just talk about it. If I know how to spell, how do you even spell this archetype? Okay, there we go, we figured it out. Like, if we just look at it, Shiranui Solitaire. All copies of Shiranui Solitaire are at least $6. I mean, look at this. This is $6.23. And then if we look at a card, and then if we look at other cards in this archetype, $1, $1.50. Not really a whole lot of great, fantastic cards. But that's what's really cool about this archetype, is that it is a fairly budget archetype. And if you are considering playing this archetype, you can definitely also run Red Eyes Zombie Dragon Lord. And, you know, Lightstorm can run this card. I guess Zombie Storm really can run this card. I can't think of any other fantastic archetypes that could still run this card. But you guys let me know in the comments, because I feel like a card like this, if you're running tuners and you're running zombies, you should be running this card. So I think it's going to have, at the very least, the values shouldn't change too much. At the very least, it could be a solid investment just on the off chance that it does go up in value, because I don't really see it losing value. Like, the set just came out. Like, I think if we look at, oh, they added these, that's fun. This is kind of the valley. Like, the lowest we saw, we got 254, 266. I think 254 is the lowest we saw, right? So even if that spot, if it goes back to there again, but at the same time, does TCG Player count this as 260? Because this is not 260. This is 359, right? So I'm not sure, but I know that this card is probably going to maintain its value for the foreseeable future, because it is a decent card. It's not a fantastic game-breaking card, but it is a decent card, right? Necroworld Banshee doing Necroworld Banshee things. Odd Eyes Pendulum Graph Dragon. I don't know. Someone ask Triff if you run this card in Pendulums. I don't know. Endless Engine Argyro. Send a Theron card from your deck to your hand. Deck to the graveyard, excuse me. This card's in your graveyard. Target Theron card. If both are still in the graveyard. You can target one Theron card in the graveyard. If both are still in the graveyard. I think it's talking about this itself. Add either that card or this card to your hand if you do place the other on the bottom of your deck. Is this deck good? I asked that last week too. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to be talking about what happened at the YCS tomorrow. Obviously, I'm not going to have the chance to do that today because the YCS is still going on today. So we'll see. Vision Hero Ferris is still here. I already bought last Market Watch. I bought 4 copies of this. I think it's gone down since then too. Just really gotta hop on this. I don't know how many times you guys want me to say this. I know it just came out, but the other copy is like $8 damaged. Like, damaged versions of this card. Like this, there's a version of this card because it's foil, so it's probably bent a little bit. It might have little rough spots on the edges. It might have spilled some coffee on it, and it's still worth $7.99. That's the other version of this card. So at the very least, a near mint version of the newer version of the card should be like half of that, which is $350, which is like page 1, page 2. And if we look, there's not like a lot. Like, nobody has like 400 of these. This person's got 9. A lot of 1s, like 111. Vince has 11. Shout out to Vince. I'm trying to keep going until we hit 350. It's just a lot of, okay, so core TCG is 28, and that's about $3 right there. CL Gaming's got 23, also about $3. And then Commander Games has 25 at $3, but here's the thing. It's $1.29 right now. And we saw how long it took for us to get to cards, or get to people who were selling it and had like a high amount of quantities of this card. And this set is still everywhere, right? Man, the reason why I like this card over some of the other cards from Ghost in the past, even a card like Galaxy Soldier, which is a fantastic card, or Necroworld Banshee, which is a fantastic card, is because heroes are heroes. It's like, just, I don't know what it is, but heroes, in my opinion, are just the most popular deck in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! And that might be interesting. Let me know if you guys would be interested in like a top 10 most popular decks, because we kind of talk about that almost every single week. Because a lot of times, cards that don't really make a lot of sense being on this Market Watch are like, is this card good? I'm not even going to look up its effect because there's just too much. I got to read Pendulum effect, Monster effect. I'm not doing that, right? But pendulums, just anything pendulum based, especially Odd Eyes, always super popular. Vision Hero Ferris is super popular. Let's see, there's probably not any other cards. Some interesting cards, but there's not any other cards that are like that right now. But we always see Blue Eyes, Dark Magician, different things like that. And so I'm just saying, even if this deck isn't very good, which it is, by the way, it's like at least tier 2, tier 2.5. But even if it's not very good, this card's still going to be expensive. But let's move forward. These cards are kind of all here the same. I don't know what in the world these two do. So we're going to go ahead and look at these real quick. It's a completely different, like last Market Watch, literally 7 days ago, was completely different than this one. We don't usually see that, but that is exciting. One dark fusion, one fusion. You contribute one monster. This is a quick effect. Tribute monster in the field. If this fusion card you control sets the graveyard, you can target one dark monster. Wow! I said that kind of loud. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that loud, but it's a really good card. This is a fantastic card. I'm going to say it one more time just because it's such a good card. This is an amazing card. You could run this in Fluffles. You could run this in... I think, is the Eldritch Fusion Monster a light? You could run this in Invoked. You could run this in Branded. You could run this in Pretaplants. You could run this in Odd Eyes. Because even Odd Eyes has... Yeah, even Odd Eyes has... Could you run this in Dimorphia? You could run this in Dimorphia! Like, just insane amount of value being able to tribute an opponent's monster, easily out an opponent's monster while also negating something. And you're putting a Predator counter on the field if you're playing it in its archetype. That's a really good card. I would definitely invest in that one. One zombie tuner, one regular tuner. Regular non-tuner, excuse me. This card's special. You can target one monster in your opponent's graveyard or that they control. Or in their graveyard and banish it. Okay. And then if a monster is special summoned from the graveyard while this monster's on the field, you can target one face-up monster on the field and negate its effects. That's really good too. That's really good too. It's a little bit harder to summon. It's not terrible. Listen, I understand there was like a weird zombie thing going on in Dimension Force. Super cool and fantastic. You got like Mad Mauler, for example. But of the two cards I just looked at, this card's a lot better. But a relatively generic level 8 Synchro, right? It's level 8. Let me double check, because it could be 9. I have a tough time reading the stars after a while. Yeah, okay, it is level 8. It's pretty good. That's really good. So I think that both those cards are definitely solid to invest in. Do keep in mind, though, these just moved. These two just moved. Do keep in mind, though, it is from Dimension Force, so it might take a second. And I think the only cards that are kind of older, even though they're not even that old, we see Brothers of Legends version of the Overlord of Darkness. We see the Dual Overload version of Swap Frog. And I think everything else, we see the Liberal first appearance of Battle of Chaos. We also see another Battle of Chaos just came out too. And then this is from Toon Chaos. But this card, Cyframe Gear Gamma, has been on this market watch for like the last year. So there's that. And there's another card too that I want to talk about. Actually, I think that's the last card we're going to talk about. I want to talk about this before we talk about that card. What does this do? Yeah, well, never mind. I'm just reading what every new card does because I guess I just don't know. But yeah, this is just for Libromancer Sephora. Okay, so we asked this about, what did we ask this about? We asked this about Dinomorphia. We asked this about Scareclaw. And I'm going to ask it one more time. Is Libromancer a good deck? Let me know in those comments down below. This is a little bit less budget. It's kind of like in the middle, right? It's what it looks like at least. It's like Dinomorphia seems like it's actually kind of good. And maybe a little bit less budget. There was another archetype that I was just recently talking about. I don't even remember what it was now. All of us. This one, right? This card. So okay, so Theron from Dimension Force, Libromancer from Battle of Chaos, Dinomorphia also from Dimension Force. That zombie archetype that we've seen, just all the archetypes in Dimension Force. Which one is your favorite? Let me know in those comments down below. But the last card I want to talk about, figuratively and literally, is Anti-Spell Fragrance. Let's just do this. Okay, I gotta be honest with you. Nobody's perfect. And this is like, we're past like the 25-minute mark, I'm sure. Okay, no, it's only like 19 minutes. I don't know why I didn't pick up a play set of this card. I'm not perfect. I saw this card. It was like 50 cents for like all copies except this one. And I was like, I should just pick up a playset because something always happens and this card just goes way up in value. I didn't do that. Like I said though, nobody's perfect. So to get mad at myself for that, but look at where this is from. Like, this wasn't a core set. A Turbo Pack Booster 2, not a core set. Champion Pack 5, not a core set. OTS Tournament Pack 1, that's how old this card is, not a core set. Dual Terminal 4, also how old this card is, not a core set. Structure Deck Zombie Horde, this is probably just a good structure deck, actually, real quick. But, once again, not a core set. Battles of Legends, Light's Revenge, you know what I'm going to say. Power of Chaos, Yugioh Destiny, and Dual Devastator. And this is like the MVP of the penny stock market watch. This has been, I've talked about this set so many times. This might end up being worth $100 one day. And if you think I'm crazy, take it from somebody who knows. This used to be on sale for $14, and they were just a stack of them at Walmart. You could get, no, it was never that cheap, but you could get these for like $30 at Walmart, and there was just like a bunch of them, and there was a bunch of them everywhere. They were at Barnes & Noble, they were at Meijer, and this set is old. This set is not like kind of old. This set is like, I think like almost a decade old, right? But look at this. This is probably going to be gone. If you guys go to, I'm curious to see, when you guys are watching this video, go check for Noble Knights of the Round Table box set. Go see. I bet you this is gone. And so, if you're thinking, Connor, there's no way Dual Devastator will ever be worth $100. Look what's in this set. Like, how many times have I talked about this set? Like, this sounds crazy. This is going to sound insane what I'm about to say, right? But this set, over the past year, like a year ago, it was $55. Don't get FOMO. I understand you could have bought like 100 back then, made sold 20 of them, made $2,000, but FOMO. We don't worry about that. It might not be done. Going up in value, right? We look at the structure deck. I was just talking about this card. I knew this was a good structure deck. This is an old structure deck too, but this is a really good structure deck. Mask of Restrict is in here. This is another card. By the way, let me just say this while we're looking at it, that always randomly pops up. Zombie World's another card that just always randomly pops up as far as popularity is concerned. It's a lot of very solid support here. Burial from Different Dimension is good. Monster Gate's good. Metaverse is good. What happens if this card randomly goes to 3? That's going to be an expensive version of this card. So this is a really solid structure deck. If you can find it, right? It's out of stock. The display is out of stock. It's an $80 structure deck. I don't want to ever tell you guys what to do with your money. I've been on Dual Devastator for a while. I should have bought them when they were selling for $40. I should have bought them when they were selling for $50. I should have bought them when they were selling for $60. And I'm going to be honest, I might buy them now. Do what you want with your money. If you don't think it's going to go up in value, it's not going to go up in value. But there is an insane amount of value in this set. And every single week, I don't think I've done, since I started doing, you can go all the way back to the Penny Stock Market Watch beginnings. I don't think I've ever gone through a Penny Stock Market Watch without talking about Dual Devastator. And Anti-Spell Fragrance because of pendulums, right? People are afraid of pendulums. And you cannot play Monsters in the Pendulum scale if Anti-Spell Fragrance is faced up. Now, if we look at the Zombie Horde version, it's about $2-ish, $3-ish dollars. I still think the Dual Devastator version is probably the cheapest. Or we can go over here to this rare. Nope. Like I said, still looking like it's a Dual Devastator version. We're going to check this one out too. Yeah, so it is the Dual Devastator version unless you want this German copy for $2. That's going to be your most budget option. But even this is about $3. And the better pendulums are, the better this card's going to be. But also, too, the better Drytron is. The better Sky Striker is. The better, what archetype we were just talking about. That's like a ritual-based Libromancer, right? And here's the thing, like, spells in general, like, most archetypes, like, you got Eldritch, obviously, but, like, most archetypes are running, like, anywhere from 10 to 15 spells, and like 4 or 5 traps, 20 monsters, right? So spell, like, I mean, even just look at the market watch. There's two trap cards, excuse me, on this market watch. The rest are spells. Branded Despia. What are they gonna do if you flip up anti-spell grenades? Like, they have to change branded. They have to chain branded opening to that. So let me know what you guys think. What cards under $5 are you really looking out for? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you guys click that like button to show your support for the channel. Subscribe for even more content. But most importantly of all, have a good day.